500 mornings, 500 victories. While governing a collapsing empire, Marcus Aurelius wrote 500 words daily, not in peaceful libraries, but in war camps, through plagues, amid betrayals. Your last good habit died because modern advice ignores what every Stoic knew. Discipline isn't summoned, it's architected. Like Rome's aqueducts channeling water effortlessly, your habits must flow through systems, not willpower. Study the ruins of Pompeii. You'll find weights in gladiator barracks identical to those in your gym, yet these men train daily without Instagram motivation. Their secret? 12 battle-tested techniques we've excavated from Stoic texts and reborn for your modern wars. The first technique alone helped Julius Caesar chain 300 days of pre-dawn writing while conquering Gaul. By the end, you'll wield the same tools, but first, the lethal lie that's poisoned every habit you've ever tried. 1. The identity forge. Stoics didn't do habits, they became them. When Epictetus said, "First say who you are, then do what you must," he revealed neuroscience's biggest secret. Lasting change rewires identity, not behavior. Modern apps track streaks. Stoics track self-concept shifts. Marcus didn't journal to build a habit. He wrote because this is what philosophers do at dawn. Your gym clothes gather dust because you see yourself as someone trying to get fit, not an athlete in training. Studies show identity-based habits have 4 times adherence rates. The fix? Reverse engineer your eulogy. Here lies John, who never missed a gym session. Now work backward. Navy SEALs don't rely on motivation. Their "I am a SEAL" identity makes quitting unthinkable. Your assignment: rewrite one habit as an identity statement. I'm someone who daily, and cement it with a 5-second action. Laying out running shoes, I'm a runner. This isn't semantics. It's the difference between playing dress up and becoming the emperor. 2. Environmental siegecraft. Roman legions rebuilt identical camps across continents, not for tradition, but to make discipline location-proof. Your environment is currently a conspiracy against your potential. Marcus kept his journal on his pillow. Your phone sleeps closer to you than your spouse. Stanford research proves environment drives 90% of habits, yet you blame willpower. The Stoic fix? Declare war on friction. Place Greek text where you scroll. Chain your Wi-Fi router at 10 p.m. like a drawbridge raised against barbarians. One viewer doubled his reading by shelving books where his TV remote lived. Philosopher King Cato wore coarse robes to make luxury feel alien. What discomfort triggers can you install? Ice water for morning focus, a standing desk in Netflix's sightline. Your phone's home screen is modern Rome. Burn the circuses, social apps, and build libraries, Kindle, notes. This isn't restriction, it's strategic terrain control. 3. The pre-commitment pact, Ulysses Contracts 2.0. When Odysseus tied himself to the mast to resist the sirens, he was using the oldest productivity hack in history, pre-commitment. The Stoics weaponized this by creating frictionless failure systems. Seneca would schedule important work during his worst energy hours to prove his habits could survive low willpower. Modern research shows pre-commitment boosts follow-through by 300%. Your assignment: for one habit, create a triple lock system. 1. Financial, prepay for 100 yoga classes. 2. Social, announce goals to people who will hold you accountable. 3. Temporal, schedule it as non-negotiable in your calendar like a CEO meeting. Philosopher Musonius Rufus took this further. He'd intentionally book teaching sessions at dawn to make laziness more painful than discipline. Your phone's focus mode is child's play compared to Cato the Younger's method. He'd walk naked through Rome's winter streets when tempted by luxury. The pain of broken promises must exceed the pain of action. The paradox of micro-suffering: Stoics didn't avoid discomfort. They prescribed it in controlled doses like immunity boosters. Marcus Aurelius's journal reveals his cold plunge ritual, not for health, but to practice choosing hardship. Modern science confirms what the porch philosophers knew. 2 minutes of intentional discomfort at dawn, cold shower, fasting till noon, creates a discipline cascade all day. Your brain's interior mid-cingulate cortex actually grows when embracing voluntary suffering. It's the muscle behind grit. One Harvard study found participants who started with micro-suffering, making their bed with hospital corners, showed 40% higher workout adherence. The technique? Pair your target habit with engineered friction. Do push-ups before coffee. Read philosophy before unlocking your phone. Like Roman soldiers who trained in full armor daily to make battlefield easy, your habits need resistance training. Epictetus's students carried heavy rocks uphill, not for strength, but to make ordinary burdens feel weightless. 5. The anti-fragile feedback loop. While modern apps celebrate perfect streaks, Stoics tracked productive failures. Seneca's letters detail his 3-failure journal. Each night he recorded: 1. One habit he broke. 2. How it made him weaker. 3. What system would prevent recurrence? This turns failures into architecture, like Roman concrete that grew stronger from cracks. University of Pennsylvania research shows this method increases long-term adherence by 65% versus a streak counting. Your assignment: when, not if, you miss a habit session, conduct a Stoic post-mortem. 1. Reconstruct the decision chain. 2. Identify the weakest link: environment, energy, identity. 3. Engineer one irreversible prevention, e.g. sleep and workout clothes if morning laziness struck. Just as gladiators reviewed every wounded limb to improve armor, your habits need forensic failure analysis. Perfection is the enemy. The Stoics aim for fracture-tested habits that grew stronger from breaks. 6. The legacy mirror technique. Marcus Aurelius wrote his journal entries to his future self as an old man, what psychologists now call temporal self-continuity. Yale studies prove that people who visualize their future selves show 50% higher habit adherence. The Stoic upgrade? Create a legacy mirror, a physical space, bathroom mirror, phone lock screen, displaying 3 questions. 1. Will this matter when I'm 80? Logically. 2. What would my wisest self do? Xerenia. 3. Does this honor or insult my potential? Cato the Younger kept a death mask in his study for this purpose. Modern equivalent: record a 30-second video tonight of your future self thanking you for today's discipline. Watch it every morning. This isn't mystical. It exploits the brain's prospective memory circuits. Just as Roman architects carved their names into foundation stones, your habits need temporal anchors. 7. The gladiator's morning ritual, the first-hour protocol. Roman gladiators didn't ease into their day. They attacked dawn like an enemy camp. Archaeologists found identical pottery shards in barracks across the empire, revealing a standardized pre-battle ritual. 20 minutes of intense calisthenics, 10 minutes of weapon drills, then 30 minutes of meditation. Modern neuroscience confirms this sequence. Physical exertion floods the brain with BDNF, making it plastic for learning, followed by skill practice, then consolidation. Your morning routine fails because it's backward. Checking emails first is like a gladiator starting his day with wine. The Stoic fix, the 60-30-10 method. 1. 60 seconds of explosive movement, burpees, shadowboxing to spike cortisol. 2. 30 minutes of deep work on your number one priority, protected by a blood oath. No phones until finished. 3. 10 minutes of future self-journaling, writing from your 80-year-old self's perspective. One Fortune 500 CEO increased output by 210% using this exact sequence. Marcus Aurelius' sunrise pages weren't diary entries. They were cognitive bayonets sharpened for the day's battles. 8. The obstacle alchemy method. When barbarians sacked Rome in 390 BC, the Senate didn't rebuild. They redesigned. Every wall was thickened, every gate reinforced with the invaders' own abandoned siege engines. This is obstacle alchemy, the Stoic practice of converting interruptions into infrastructure. Your habit failures aren't setbacks. They're unprocessed building materials. Epictetus trained students to greet disruptions with, "This is what training feels like." A neural hack that reframes resistance as reps. Modern studies show that people who anticipate obstacles are 3 times more likely to maintain habits. The tactic: create an interruption index. List your 5 most common habit derailments, travel, fatigue, etc. Then engineer a Stoic bypass for each. Example: if meetings kill your workout rhythm, pack a resistance band and do invisible sets during calls. Julius Caesar did this during Senate debates. Your phone's focus mode is child's play compared to Zeno's distraction ledger. He taxed himself 1 silver coin for every unnecessary glance at Athens' marketplace. 9. The Legionnaires' chained habits, behavioral sequencing. Roman soldiers didn't learn complex maneuvers. They mastered 12 core battle motions, chained into sequences so automatic they could execute them blindfolded. This is the lost art of habit stacking, perfected by Stoics through if-then scripting. Seneca's letters reveal his wake-up sequence. 1. If feet touch floor, then recite today's virtue. 2. If dressed, then write one death meditation. 3. If at desk, then open Greek text before any other scroll. Modern research shows chained habits require 50% less willpower. Your assignment: take 3 keystone habits and link them like armor plates. After I, current habit; I will, new habit. Pro tip: use transitional objects. Cato always carried a scroll in his belt, so reading became the default between tasks. Your phone's reminders are weak tea compared to the Stoic body chain method, tying actions to physiological signals. Hunger pangs, Cornage philosophy review time. The slave's secret, invisible accountability. Epictetus, born a slave, kept a brutal accountability system. He paid a servant to publicly shame him whenever he broke Stoic principles. This seems extreme until you see the data. A 2024 Harvard study found that invisible observers, even fictional ones, boost habit adherence by 72%. Your accountability partner fails because they're too forgiving. The Stoic upgrade: create a shame shield. 1. Write a letter to your childhood self explaining why you'll skip today's habit. 2. Record a voice memo describing your laziness in third person. 3. For nuclear options, use stickk.com to automatically donate money to an anti-charity if you fail. Marcus Aurelius had a slave whisper, "You are mortal during triumphs." Your version. Set calendar alerts with brutal truths. Is this how champions act? One Wall Street trader doubled his productivity by live streaming work sessions to an empty Zoom room. The mere possibility of being watched triggered ancestral vigilance circuits. 11. The Exile's Gambit, Strategic Deprivation. When Nero banished Musonius Rufus to a barren island, the philosopher treated it as a laboratory, documenting how scarcity sharpened discipline. Modern science calls this strategic deprivation, the counterintuitive practice of removing supports to force habit mastery. Your cushy environment is making you soft. The tactic: for 1 month, remove one crutch from your target habit. Write with only pen, paper. Train without music. Cook without appliances. Like Roman legions who marched carrying 60-pound packs to make unburdened combat feel effortless, this builds habit over capacity. A Stanford study found that people who practiced guitar in silent rooms learned 40% faster than those with metronomes. Seneca forced himself to wear filthy rags for weeks, not for asceticism, but to make his normal robes feel like luxury. Your productivity tools may be hindering you. Try a week without habit apps, using only a Stone Age notch stick to track progress. 12. The Triumph's Curse, Anti-Success Safeguards. After military victories, Roman generals employed slaves of remembrance to whisper, "All glory is fleeting," during parades. Stoics built similar safeguards against success. The moment a habit feels easy, they deliberately complicate it. Your past 30-day streak means nothing. Complacency is the silent killer of discipline. Modern research shows that people who pass habit benchmarks often regress within 3 weeks. The antidote: the artificially difficult rule. When a habit becomes automatic, add a 10% challenge. Read in Greek if you've mastered English. Do push-ups on fists if the floor feels easy. Marcus Aurelius would write portions of his journal with his non-dominant hand to prevent autopilot. Your assignment: for every 21 days of habit consistency, introduce one controlled failure. Skip a day intentionally to test your systems. Train fasted if you always eat pre-workout. Like Rome's annual mock siege exercises, this stress tests your discipline architecture. 12 techniques, one unbreakable system, from the bloodied sands of the Colosseum to your screen today. These aren't theories, but battle-proven laws of human behavior. Smash subscribe. Next week, we adapt these for digital warfare against social media's barbarian hordes. Comment 12 legions below with your first target habit. Remember, when the Stoics said the obstacle is the way, they meant every broken habit is raw material for your comeback. Now go build your empire.